Your Olympic hero has arrived. It's true, it's true.
You're watching Fugitive Redeye, and welcome to another episode of Redeye Responds. And yes, I'm using the webcam today, doing it a little bit differently. Thought it'd be kind of a gimmick, and thought it would be fun to try a different approach to the videos than I normally do. Today we'll be talking about a couple of different cartoon conspiracy theory videos. One of them's from K-Mac Time, the other one's from Channel Frederator. I'm gonna be honest, this isn't one of the most angry ones I'm going to be. These aren't the worst theories ever, but it's gonna be a fun little stupid video. As always, let's have fun with it. So without further ado, let's jump in.
He has a theory on SpongeBob and how, during the episode of SpongeBob's Family Vacation, where SpongeBob's mom is telling his dad Harold to do something about SpongeBob and Patrick falling asleep, Harold responds by saying, quote, "He's your son, Margaret. He's your son," which got him thinking, what if Harold isn't SpongeBob's real father?
That's one way to look at it. I'd more look at it as him saying, he's your son, as in he takes after you, so you deal with it, you know, that kind of thing.
Well, when you think about it, almost every present-day member of the SquarePants family has a round body, except for SpongeBob and two other members, his cousin Stanley and his Uncle Sherm, which makes him think that Uncle Sherm might actually be SpongeBob's real father.
I'll give him this. He's not wrong. It does kind of make sense when you think about it.
But her theory is on Cartman, and South Park says that Cartman and Clyde are brothers, or at least half-brothers. This could be possible because of a few things. First, they both look very similar.
I'd argue that most of the characters in South Park look very similar. They all look almost identical. They're just, you know, round with the little eyes, and then the same bodies with the mittens and everything. So I don't think this point is really that valid.
Both have the same brown hair, and they both...
Yeah, they have the same hair color, but so do several other characters.
Are kind of bigger than the other children in the show. Also, Cartman's mother, Luann, is known as the town whore, so it is very possible that she slept with Clyde's father.
Okay, first off, it's Leanne. Not that big a deal, but it is Leanne, not Luann. Second off, yeah, she is the town whore. And yeah, she probably did sleep with Clyde's father, because most people in the town have slept with Leanne. But it doesn't mean that she's Clyde's mother.
And accidentally got pregnant. And because she did not want to have an abortion, and Clyde's dad felt the same way, they actually gave birth to Cartman and didn't tell anybody.
This actually doesn't work because we know who Cartman's father is. It was Jack Tenderman. He killed his own father and fed him to his half-brother. We already know that because of episode 201.
Now, this is why Clyde knows that Cartman is his brother, and why he goes along with Cartman's plans is more because he wants to spend time with his brother.
I would argue that this doesn't make any sense either. Clyde does go along with Cartman's plans in a few different episodes, but there's only one or two examples of that. He actually doesn't like Cartman, as most of the residents of South Park do not. And on top of that, why would Clyde know, of all people? It doesn't make any sense. Like, if they were trying to keep it like this secret, why would Clyde know and not Cartman? Does his mother know? I would argue that this just doesn't work. Alright, so now we're on to the next video, the one from Channel Frederator. This one's actually a pretty solid theory, but I'm still going to have a little bit to say about it, so let's jump in.
Over the years, Cartman, Kyle, Stan, and pretty much everyone in the city of South Park have witnessed their friend Kenny die, like, hundreds of times.
This is a small technicality and nitpick, but technically Kenny has only died 126 times, and that's if you include the shorts and the intros.
Yet he always seems to return in the next episode with zero recognition of his gruesome death.
Another small technicality, but sometimes there is recognition of his death. Those may not be canon, because he himself doesn't like that people forget his death. But in Cartman Land, Cartman does acknowledge it, so technically not 100% true.
Only to die again merely minutes later.
If you're talking in real world time, then technically, sure. But within the show, he usually doesn't die minutes later, within show time. And he hasn't died regularly for a while, but we'll get to that more in a minute. But the only times he actually dies multiple times in the same episode tend to be, you know, he dies twice in a two-parter with Cartman's Mom is a Dirty Slut. He does come back to life at the end of the original unaired version of Cartman Gets an Anal Probe. and he dies multiple times throughout the Mysterion/Coon saga.
Most fans probably write this off as one of the show's longest-running gags. But is it possible that there's an even bigger explanation to Kenny's frequent demise?
Yes, there most certainly is, and Matt and Trey have touched on it in a couple of different episodes, but you're going to get to that in a minute, so I'll let you continue.
Does time in South Park move incredibly slow because of Kenny's immortal abilities?
I don't know if I'd go that far. I'd just say it's probably using cartoon logic, but hey, it is possible, I suppose.
As well as why, despite being on television for 17 years, the kids in South Park don't seem to age.
I would argue that it's just because it's a cartoon, and cartoons use cartoon logic, but, maybe you have a point. Like I said, I'm not fully disputing this one.
But a theory found on Reddit offers this interesting explanation. Due to an encounter with Cthulhu, Kenny has immortal abilities, which warps reality every time he dies.
This part of it technically isn't a theory. This is actually true. It's shown in a later episode in the Coon saga, but she will get to that in a moment, so I'll let her continue once again.
Time is actually resetting around him and his surroundings, which also explains why no one in South Park can remember his many deaths. This is also why after 17 years, 3 presidential terms, 8 Christmas, 6 Halloween, and 7 Thanksgiving episodes, the residents of South Park have only aged 2 years.
Again, technically not 100% true, because sometimes characters can, but they usually cannot, and canonically they cannot, so I'll give you that one.
It's also why Kenny dies in practically every episode, only to return later.
That has actually not been true since Season 5. After they did Kenny Dies, the episode, Kenny Dies, he hasn't really died that often since then. So technically that is not true, so no.
Now some of you might be wondering exactly what Cthulhu is.
If anyone is indeed wondering that, then they've been living under a fucking rock, because most people I meet know who Cthulhu is, even if they don't know who H.P. Lovecraft is, so I'm going to go ahead and condense her explanation, because I think everyone knows who Cthulhu is.
Well, Cthulhu is an ancient being created by writer H.P. Lovecraft in 1928 short story called Cthulhu. Cthulhu is often described as having an immense power that manipulates the minds of human beings. Lovecraft introduces many other deities in his work, but Cthulhu is the most well-known and considered one of the great old ones.
He's the top dog, or squid, dragon, demon type thing.
No, not funny. That was really bad.
In the season 14 episode Mysterion Rises, it's revealed that Kenny is a superhero Mysterion whose special power is the ability to never die. And in the following episode, Coon vs. Coon and Friends, we learn that Kenny's parents used to be members of the cult of Cthulhu. It is yet to really be revealed if Kenny was sacrificed to Cthulhu or exactly how he got this immortality. However, it is shown that his mom gives birth to a newborn Kenny every time he dies, and he quickly ages to his previous state in a matter of hours.
This is also actually shown in Cartman Joins Nambla, and I feel that the two tie together, so technically, yeah, but I wanted to just mention that because she doesn't bring up that episode at all.
Is it possible that Kenny is an eldritch abomination? And is he the reason the citizens of South Park simply reset every time he dies? On the surface, South Park might seem like the kind of show to throw continuity to the wind, much like its fellow adult animated shows, Family Guy. But any dedicated South Park fan will say otherwise, that Kenny's frequent deaths are no accident. Creators Matt Stone and Trey Parker have been alluding to Kenny's mysterious powers for quite some time.
Yeah, once again, I'm inclined to agree. That is true. South Park does have a little bit of continuity, and Kenny's deaths definitely are something that canonically happened. But I would also argue that continuity isn't exactly 100% set in South Park. There are several contradictions, inconsistencies, and plot holes throughout the series because it is, in fact, a cartoon.
In their commentary for the episode Coon vs. Coon and Friends, Matt and Trey revealed that there is a quick shot at a spoiler that reveals Kenny's past, hinting that it is not spoken, it's sort of a hidden thing. So let's take a look at this quick shot of what appears to be the Necronomicon.
So if this so-called spoiler is in the Necronomicon, why did you show that other thing circled that was completely irrelevant?
Which is a fictional grimoire appearing in H.P. Lovecraft's works. This page seems to be depicting otherworldly realms and some sort of ritual that involves a baby. In the episode, it is implied that Kenny was supposed to be sacrificed, but then his parents stopped attending the meetings. So while we don't know exactly if Kenny was sacrificed or not, his effect on time and reality in the city of South Park is very similar to that of H.P. Lovecraft's Eldritch Abominations.
Alright, like I said, this is actually a fairly solid theory, so I'm not really going to argue with it that much. She made a fairly good amount of points. There were a couple of small nitpicks I had, but overall nothing too strange. It definitely was better than some of the other theories I've seen, especially those fucking Family Guy ones. Those were fucking ridiculous. But yeah, that's really it for this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. This is, like I said, not really the most angry or insightful episode, but that's it. Toodles.
Nagumo, wait. What about your parents?
Don't worry, they're at a funeral.